Hello, if you're getting this video, it's because you're one of my United Healthcare, what we used to call the Focus Plan, or on your card would say 006. I am getting so many calls and messages. So just trying to communicate with as many of you as possible in bulk because most of the information is for all of you. So I quickly wanted to remind you, I've emailed you that you did get your ANOC, which is your annual notice of change. I am going to share that with you and go over the changes so you are quickly aware. But without going into too much detail, if some of you are interested in more information and details, I can certainly go into that for you, or you can research. But there's been a lot of changes in the government realm. It mostly is affecting the insurance company's prescription drug plan section, which I know is not great for some of you. They say 70% of our clients should not be affected, but I have a hard time believing that, but that's neither here nor there. So it's with this Affordable Care Act. They've been implementing changes, and this year is the worst I have seen in 20 years. So, with your current plan, when you saw that, let me see if I can share your ANOC, or annual notice of change. It tells you everything that would change for your plan for the new year. So it would look like this. And I don't know if you can still see me, but I'm going to go through that. But basically, for the most part, your medical policy is still the same. You can see it has to tell you from 2025 to 2026 what has changed. So you can see, for the most part, majority of those benefits have stayed the same. Your low out-of-pocket maximum, $800, $0 primary, zero specialists, zero inpatient hospital. Where we're seeing the biggest changes, again, is prescription. So if you are just on generic medications, high blood pressure, the statins, just some generics, whoops, highlighted everything there, that stayed the same. $0 copay for a preferred pharmacy on tiers 1 and 2. Okay, so that is great news for most of you. Now, where we're going to see the main difference is if you're on those higher tier medications, those are adding a higher deductible. And that whole drug plan changed the layout. So you would pay your deductible in copay amounts at the beginning of the year, and then the copay or co-insurance. So that's what's changed with the United Healthcare Plan, is instead of paying the $35 for your copay for tier 3, it's now a 16%, which it just depends on the cost of the medication, but that can vary. So that's where we're really, most of you again should be fine. But you can see, instead of the $100 copay, it's now 41%. So those percentages, that's what we call a co-insurance versus a flat copay of what it used to be. That can add up. So, and I'll go through options in just a minute. So that's the biggest changes there. The next change is the ambulance went up from 150 to 200. Not a huge shift, not great, but with how the market's going, that's just to make you aware. And then the dental services, where they were covering 50%, all your preventative, and then 50% on comprehensive. Now, only for, I'm sorry, last year your comprehensive was a $0 copay and 50% coinsurance for dentures and bridge. This year it will just be a 50% coinsurance for all comprehensive. and then only up to $1,000 per year. So the dental as well, benefits were lowered. So I just want to make sure you're aware, as I just already spoke to one client, they were like, I mean, it's not great. We're not happy. Emergency room went up as well, 150 from 125. They said, but it's a drop in the bucket really, as far as like dental goes and emergency room or hospital, little benefits. So where I see the most change is the prescriptions. So like that client said, hey, it's a drop in the bucket with those changes. I don't want to hassle with changing doctors and going through, let me stop sharing, going through all the hassle of changing plans. Totally fine. You can do that. And if you can let me know, hey, Heidi, I'm good with my plan. We're going to stay where we are. Great. If you're not okay with those, that's if you saw that survey link I sent. I just have so many clients to run each year. Getting your medications and doctors and other pertinent information will help me compare plans. There's a few other plans out there with some different options, but again, almost every insurance company was hit with this prescription. And so how they're dealing with it is in different ways, but it's a very similar hit to most companies. So it's going to depend on your doctors, your medications. So what I'm asking is if you're on high cost medications, if you've been hitting that $2,000 limit, if you can let me know if you also have Medi-Cal or Medicaid. So again, all of you have Medicare. That's how you're eligible for this plan, but there's also Medicaid and Medi-Cal, which is based on income. That would qualify you for a different plan. Or there's some chronic condition plans, which are, it depends on each company, but diabetes, high blood pressure, chronic heart failure, COPD, any chronic condition that could be verified by a doctor that may help qualify for a different chronic plan that may lower your prescription costs. So this video is just a quick overview of those changes that are happening. So with your plan what is changing. Hopefully it won't affect you, and most people probably will want to stay, but there is options for a review, especially if you have a chronic condition or what we call dual eligible Medicare and Medi-Cal. I'm happy to do a review for you. If you can please try to do that survey. I paid to have this new system so that I can have everybody's. It's much harder for me to say, okay, where is that medication? How do you spell it? What's the dosage? How many times do you take it? Wait, do you still have that one? It takes a lot when I'm doing that with hundreds of clients. So if you can fill out that survey, it gives me your doctors, it gives me your pharmacy, it gives me your medications. On the medications, you enter it and then hit add new medication. Don't hit next. I think a lot of people are saying it only let me put one in, but you have to keep adding and then hit next to get those all in there. But then I can do an easy review and we can look at other plan options. Remember, I contract with every major carrier. So I have all the options out there from Aetna, Alignment, Anthem, Blue Shield, Humana, Molina, Scan, United, WellCare, and the list goes on and on. So those are all options. I still have a few that are usually my most stable, and I typically like to keep my clients in the most stable plans that aren't making big changes, because I for sure over the years have seen where clients are like, hey, they're giving free food, and they go, and then the next year it's gone and it's a horrible plan and they have to switch back. So with that being said, even UnitedHealthCare, all the plans have what's either called a flex card, or for United, it's the U card. There is an option for healthy foods, but again, that would only be for chronic conditions if you qualified, or after hospital stay. So that's probably the next biggest call I get each year is, I see on TV, you can get this much for groceries, but they're very specific plans that have to be qualified for. So each company has their reward system, which sometimes, you have over the counter supplies, you can, have your dental, which is on your card. Again, healthy foods. Some of them are like $10 a month for utilities or $10 a month for groceries. So those are options, but again, they have to weigh out those benefits. So you either qualify or they're taking something from a plan to add somewhere else. So if you have any additional questions, I am here to support you. Just know it's so crazy, and this year is a crazy year. So I just created this video to hopefully get some information out to all of you quickly that helps kind of summarize the changes to your specific plan. I'm going to be putting out more videos to explain things, but for now, just wanted to share that with you. Okay, happy AEP. And remember, we have all the way until December 7th. I will be doing an event in Ranch Cucamonga, not this Saturday, but the following, which is October, oops, I may have lost you, October 11th, I want to say. At Red Hill Park. So if you wanted to come in person, again, dependent on how many people do come, I may not be able to do a personal review with you, especially if you haven't filled out that summary survey yet. But keep that in mind. That will be an open event I'm doing just for my clients. So I will be there. Inviting all my clients out there. Look for more communication regarding that, but you're welcome to come on out if you wanted to come in person. Okay, thank you guys.